All right, so this is a review and a reaction on Young T and Bugsey's. I don't know if it's a mixtape or whatever, but anyway, or album, but it's called Plead the Fifth, and the artwork is basically got both of them in it, Young T and Bugsey. I think the smart thing that they did was, you know, they got they put them in order really, you know what I mean, and it's got their names on their heads, so or their signature of the names on their head, and yeah, and obviously, not even obviously, but anyway, yeah. So it's an interesting piece of artwork. Um, yeah, the title itself, when I first saw its release, in all honesty, I didn't no. I'll be real with you. I didn't really want to listen to the album, but I'm like, this is Young T and Bugsey. They got a few bangers on their hands, so maybe I should. But then, you know, here we are. So there are 12 tracks, and there is School Trip, Dreadlocks, Madonna, Don't Rush featuring Heady One, Throw Me a Text, Stand Up Man. Stand Up Man. Then there's More Than Me. Then Bully Beef featuring Fredo. Then Top Way featuring Morrison. And then Energy. Then Plead the Fifth. And Strike a Pose featuring H. Now, the let me get to the title. The title of the album, yeah, Plead the Fifth. That's usually associated with America and stuff like that because of the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment. I can't remember the full details of the Fifth Amendment, but because of it, I just thought to myself, do you know what I mean? Like, that's not in the UK, so why are they really naming their thing Plead the Fifth? Like, it makes no sense. Even though I do understand that, you know, part of, I don't even want to call it US culture or whatever, but knowing how the mainstream media is and who really controls it and all that stuff there, I can see why there is that level of influence, right? So that's all that is there. But then the bonus is, you know, they got a track called Don't Rush, and that's on this project, and that went viral. I'm still surprised why it's not number one, because it went viral. I believe, from my understanding, I've seen the Don't Rush challenge more times than I have seen the Tootsie Slide challenge. That's just me. I've seen more of it, so I'm like, it don't make sense why it's not number one. Now you could say, I don't know. There's levels. There's certain things to it, but I don't know. But I think, you know, just seeing the challenges and people doing their things from, it's amazing. It's amazing seeing that, and it just goes to show when you work hard and you just do what you got to do, things will just pick up for you. And now that it's touched base with some people in the US, now the title of the album is it don't really matter. It just don't matter anymore. So yeah. But again, the title of the album, if you understand what the Fifth Amendment is, then it kind of does make sense why they would title that in a way. So now I'm deep in it. Like, I'm deep in it. But I don't necessarily have a favourite track on here. One thing that I did notice is that the influence of Krept and Konan. Yes, Krept and Konan. These brothers don't get the respect that they deserve when it comes to influence. Yeah, they do not get the credit they deserve, and they need to be bigged up. Yeah, they are fucking geniuses without even fucking realizing it. Maybe they do realize it, but the reason why I say that is because there was a couple songs on this project, right, where it reminded me of Krept and Konan. Like, I think it was Young T. Like, he had a flow similar to Krept. No, flow similar to Konan, and Bugsey had flow similar to Krept. It's just the way that they were carrying the rhythms and stuff like that and flowing like it's the way they're pronouncing words and all that stuff there. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because sometimes early on in people's career you still have that level of influence there. Even though I was watching a music video. No, was it a music video? Yeah, it was. Of Michael Jackson. I can't remember which one it was. And one of the comment section, one of them put, they can hear how he sounds. Yeah, they can hear the influence of certain particular artists. I can't remember the name of the artist, but it is the ones that I think Sammy Davis Jr. was one of them that they mentioned. And they meant, so what's interesting about that is, I believe this was early on in Michael Jackson's career. I can't remember what particular song it was, which makes sense, right? It makes sense. Anyway, I don't have a particular favorite. All the rhythms are cold as fuck. Like, they could literally release every single song in there as a single and it will bang. They already released a few songs on there like Don't Rush, Strike a Pose. I think that's it. I'm not too sure about the other ones, but yeah, they can release practically every song on there and it will bang. Like, it literally will bang. So they're the next duo. Well, I don't want to say the next duo coming up. I hate saying all these things there. Like, but I believe they are the next duo coming up. And it's good to see, because that's the other thing about the Krept Konan influence. Think about it. Before Krept Konan in the UK, there wasn't that many duos like that, like rap duos or grime duos or whatever. Like, there wasn't. There just wasn't that type of duo. And but yeah, so that's another level of influence there. But as far as a track that took me by surprise or was Top Boy featuring Morrison, like, do you know what's mad? This guy rarely puts out music. So it's like, for him to be on this project, it says a lot. It says a lot, really. And Morrison doing what Morrison does, he bodies it. He absolutely fucking bodies it. So, but yeah, I'm gonna take one song. If it's out of context or in context, it is what it is. The song I'm gonna talk about is Energy, and yeah, when it comes to dating and relationships in general, you know, it's about energy and it's about vibing like with that person and making sure that, not just making sure, you wanna, like, the energy has to be there, and if it's not there, it's just not gonna feel right. And when it don't feel right, get me, things go left. Let's be real, things go left. So the only way to be able to maintain that energy, because think about it, I'm sure you've seen some relationships, some marriages and all that stuff there have lasted decades. Meanwhile, your relationships are lasting a couple months or like a couple years even. Do you understand? But you want to be able to have a more duration. And the only way you're going to be able to get that is by trying to maintain that energy. The only way you do that is by maintaining your energy. See, it's not about them, it's about you. So essentially, if you develop yourself, let's say you're a man watching this, if you develop yourself as a pure thoroughbred alpha male, and you understand your role and your position as a man in a relationship, then naturally you will actually put yourself in a position where you'll be able to maintain your energy, and you won't have to worry too tough about her energy. Because what will happen was what's going to happen, innit? So if you're a woman watching this, all you got to do is develop yourself as a pure feminine woman. Now the bonus Yeah, when you click the link in the description box below to become a member of the Akibilan Trust, not only will you learn how to develop yourself as a pure feminine woman, and if you're a man, learn how to be a thoroughbred alpha male, you will learn exactly how dating and relationships actually work. Because that's the other thing, it's not having the actual knowledge on how to actually truly move. Yeah? So, and have that energy to maintain. So, click the link in the description box below to become a member of the Akibilan Trust so you can get access to that course to do with roles, relationship, and learn everything you need to know in regards to that. Now back to the EP or the album or the project, I don't know what to call it, but it's called Plead the Fifth. Stream that. The link is in the description box below. I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. In fact, no, fuck it. 10 out of 10. Simply because every song on here fucking slaps. Every single song. And yeah, I don't want to compare them to Krept Konan, but I do want to say that it's very evident to me that they are influenced by Krept Konan. So if they could do songs together and tour together, I think that would be a major look as well. But anyway, listen, if you've got any questions, any topics you'd like for us to discuss, leave that in the comment section below. And remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, because you never know, the video you suggest might just be next.